Welcome to Sports Focus. I am your host, John McNeill's. We got a lot to talk about. You already know who these two people are, but I introduce them anyway.
You ain't got to introduce
McIntosh and Civil. They talking. Whispering.
That's what he really want to say.
You know he did.
He
really
I
want to call them MFers.
You got another name you was going to call us.
Oh.
And how?
Well, yeah.
Okay, let's get right to it. First, congratulations to the new face of the NBA if they win a championship, Steph Curry.
Yeah.
They ain't win a championship.
You don't think so?
No.
I tell you what, they're going to be very tough to beat.
Yep. Even though the Clippers are really playing good without
playing good, yeah.
Did they
Houston is playing
Houston.
well. They're playing good as well.
Did they beat San Antonio?
Yeah.
Yes, they did.
They beat Saint Game 7.
Ooh.
You know the Spurs. Do you know the Spurs don't win back to back?
No.
You know they win, take like 3-4 years off, and come back and win it again. This might be their last one though.
Yeah.
But
they all.
Chris Paul game winning shot.
Big up to Steph Curry. Now let's get to the NFL draft.
Woo! Boring.
What was boring about the NFL draft?
No last minute trades.
Football, no trades. It seemed like to me, but
Yeah.
first, let's get out that Jeremy Davis, a local UConn product, got drafted. There's 2 UConn players that got drafted. We'll talk about the other one later, but congrats to Jeremy Davis. He's going to the New York Football Giants. So let's hope he makes a team.
Yes.
Now, the draft itself was horrible.
Thank you.
Terrible.
Thank you.
Smart brother, you have any words to describe what bad is?
Smart brother. It was just, there's no other words to put it but
It was
bad.
slow.
It
was slow. They had to draft the picks in, and they were wasting time talking. They were just yabby.
You know you had to get it time enough for them to call the guy and say that. But see,
please.
But since they changed it, now you can't see inside of the green room to see who's being called at the time of the pick. They wanted to keep it exciting.
They could have cut that thing off like half that time.
You know the commissioner was in the back taking a sip.
Well, you know the thing about the draft.
The
thing about the draft this year, it seemed like these NFL teams, they knew who they wanted.
Yeah.
Very quickly, and if you was watching it like we was watching it seemed like 3 other teams already made their picks, but oh no, we have to talk, jumble, do a commercial, and then here's the pick.
Here comes the commercial.
It was
drawn out.
Well, you had to sit there. You had to pay the sponsors who were doing it, so you have to put in the commercial. Even though they could have, as fast as those picks were coming, they could have did 2 picks and then went on ahead and went.
Yeah.
The telecast went to 11:30, I believe, and it could have been over like around 10:30.
Yeah, we left.
They really could have. Maybe that's something they need to work on because that was horrible. You can't. You're leaving us there like, okay, where. And nope, you can't hear the pick. You don't even know who it is.
Well, yeah, I guess they figure everybody's somewhere drinking and eating, and they don't care about the time.
I think we did. I think the fans, the people that was in the bar, that we're eating because once again the NFL got us all junkified and on crack. We want to see the football. We want to see who our team picked and all that. So it was just slow, but we got to saw. Before I get to my Cowboys. Any thoughts on the Philadelphia Eagles and their draft? Do you think they did well?
Yeah, they did okay. They feel our major need was secondary.
Everybody thought y'all were gonna make that hop to 2.
No.
You were sitting there like,
I was praying they wasn't. He know I was praying they wasn't.
Yeah, they everybody, even the announcers on the NFL Network were saying the same thing. They were shocked that they didn't make that leap.
Listen,
they got what they got. They got the.
Ask this man what I was praying for. I was saying, please don't let them do. Please,
because they wanted to give up their 2 young studs on defense to move up
and Bradford.
Oh, you got to be crazy. But let's get to the real reason why we're here. Talk about the real team, the Dallas Cowboys,
Lord.
America's team.
Yes.
Really?
When you watch like NFL.com and all these other
jersey been nicer.
No, that's all right. Don't worry, that's coming.
Really?
The Cowboys did very well, I would say.
Yes, it is.
They got UConn product Byron Jones. He can play multiple positions, cornerback, safety.
Yep, they say play safety for a little while and then move down to the corner.
That's a for a cornerback, that's a big dude.
Yeah, but he's fast.
He's fast and he's big. And that's something that the Cowboys do not have. A tall, someone that's over 5'10", guarding these receivers that's like 6'5" and 6'3".
And 44-inch vertical.
Yeah, let's see Megatron get with that.
Well, remember the Cowboy corner that was covering him in the Tony Romo meltdown that year? He got hurt and had to go to the sideline. And that's when Megatron started catching all those touchdown passes. Because he had a wicked vertical too, and I can't remember his name.
Well, I think Byron Jones is he's gonna be good. And they got their second round pick, Randy Gregory.
Us and these,
They love the knuckleheads, man. Remember, him and Al Davis, they was buddies, Jerry Jones. So they figured, but look, now think about it. Randy Gregory went to the number 60. That's the second round. He was supposed to go in the top 10.
Yeah, and I would say he's a top 10 prospect. But when you get in the combine and you getting busted for marijuana,
okay, now let's segue to that right quick.
Wow.
Because Shane Ray, the kid out of Missouri.
Yes, he did.
He got possession of marijuana that Monday. The draft was that later in the week. Denver traded up to get him. How come they're not blowing up his spot like they're blowing up this Randy Gregory?
Because Randall Gregory hasn't been drafted he was drafted by America's team. So his spotlight is automatic.
But I wonder why.
I'm telling the truth.
No, but wait a minute.
That's the reason why.
He slipped down the draft.
Yeah.
He slipped down. Both of these guys had some sort of marijuana problem.
Well, no, he was caught for possession. Homeboy had it in his system.
Yeah.
There's a difference.
There's a difference.
Well, I can have crack, but don't do the crack.
There
you go.
You could have been selling the crack for all we know, but homeboy was smoking. But because he was drafted by the Dallas Cowboys, it's going to bring more attention, and especially with Greg Hardy already.
So now you got Greg Hardy, Randall Gregory, knuckleheads, and they're going to just try
good. Y'all got both of them either side.
They're going to blow it up. Now their third round selection, Chaz Green, fourth round, Damon Wilson. Ryan Russell was their next pick out of.
Okay, what Chaz Green position he played?
Chaz Green was an offensive tackle out of Florida.
Okay, that's a good pick.
And then you got Mr. Ryan Russell. He was defensive end out of Purdue. Okay. Damon Wilson, linebacker out of Minnesota. A lot of Big Ten people. And then they got funky. They got some young man out of Germany, but he played for Wyoming.
Okay.
Mark. Niziko.
But you forgot about the other guy who played a little while over in London that they pulled in before the draft.
But then you check out who y'all signed for free agents.
And then you have Lawrence Gibson out of Virginia Tech, offensive tackle. They said he's better than Chaz Green. So go figure that. And then they finished off with their last pick of the NFL draft, Jeff Schwaim, blocking tight end out of Texas.
They're saying they're showing up that tight end, that tackle position.
So they might move from the fullback and get rid of the fullback. We don't know. We'll find out. They said this guy is like, whoa, he's good. So overall, the Cowboys look like they are headed on their way to the Super Bowl as Tony Romo has predicted.
You know what? If the story plays out like the 90s Cowboys, then yes.
We'll see.
It would be.
And
remember with Jimmy Johnson, they barely missed the playoffs. And they just went on a tear.
They took off. In the following episodes, we will get deeper into this draft and to the Cowboys and why they didn't pick a running back. But
they don't need one.
Hey, we don't know
that. They got free agent running back.
We don't know.
Man, no.
Did anybody see the Avengers?
No.
Of course, as you said in 2 weeks, and you just was like, I don't know. I saw the Avengers, and it's one of the best movies of all time.
He sound like he need to be on Dora, don't he?
Mm-hmm. Big time.
The Avengers is
Vamonos!
You can do it. Just know that you can do it. Yeah. I love that movie. I went from a high, when you think about the whole thing, went from a high, you go from a low. The Manny Pacquiao Floyd Mayweather fight. For the people that ordered this fight,
sucker.
The working man is a sucker, because you know what? That was definitely not the hype. It was hype, but it wasn't. It was garbage. The actual fight itself was garbage.
Yeah.
But just think about it. You know, if you put in the context, they did sell it.
Yeah.
They hyped it.
Yes, it did.
Look at that. You had Jimmy Lennon and Buffer, 2 ring announcers in the ring doing each other. You had all these private jets for all these celebrities, and they can barely fit the jets in there to park them, and we got that.
All that money.
Hey.
Somebody said there they said he put on a clinic for boxing. I said no, he put on a clinic on how to run.
Yeah, he did.
And how to hug.
Yes, he did.
They had more hugs there than you do at a senior prom.
Yes, he did. He would not.
They looked like heavyweights because the heavyweights they punch and they hug, punch and they hug.
So that was defensive boxing. No.
But to
defensive hug and stop. I'm like, hit
but
me.
to
Hug.
Floyd's credit, he is 40 now, 48. You know, if you watch all his fights, that's all he do.
But here's the thing.
Yeah, but go ahead. I'm sorry.
One thing, Floyd would not fight a fighter who got longer arm reach than him to make him work. Somebody who gonna hit him from a distance. He wasn't gonna fight somebody with shorter arm distance. You could probably look at how they say. And a person who could fight him that way, he's not gonna fight him. That's Cotto. He's not gonna fight Cotto again.
No, we know he ain't gonna fight that Puerto Rican again.
Yeah,
that's just straight up. Cotto gave him the toughest fight that I've seen. You know, this money era that Mayweather's in.
Even though a lot of people think that was questionable too, but it's easy to be 48 and old when you get to choose your fighters.
True.
Well, the people wanted this fight.
5 years too late. And
but wait a minute, we bought it. The people bought it. They hyped
5 years
it.
too late.
5 years late. Going through stipulation.
Is that his fault? That's not his fault.
But the question,
whose fault is it in this fight? Because I'm blaming Pacquiao.
You know,
no,
I'm not blaming Pacquiao.
Because you know what, Pacquiao is the one supposed to come to this fight and bring it.
I put it this way: when Stephen A. Smith says that his man Money was running, then yeah, he was running.
Who cares if he was running?
He was running.
How come Pacquiao couldn't hit him?
I ain't talking about in the fight. I'm talking about just to get him in the ring. Stephen A. Smith called him out and said he was running from Pacquiao.
He was.
For the last 5 years.
He wasn't running from Pacquiao.
The last 5 years he's been running from Pacquiao.
Read the Sports Illustrated article and find out who really made that fight. Read the Sports Illustrated article and find out who really made that fight. We know it wasn't Pacquiao because he barely talked.
Okay,
but
can you a few seconds? Thank you.
You got 3.
Oh, good guy.
Okay, legacies.
No, Pacquiao not one of the greatest by. No, he's not.
What is the legacy from this fight? Do you think that a fight like this will happen again?
No,
because nobody's going to be stupid enough to pay all that money for a fight again.
Do you think it did something to the sport of boxing?
Yes, it did.
It put a big damper on it.
It already was struggling, and this just made it worse.
Yeah, you got to wait for another fighter to come up. The other fighters, you got to wait for the heavyweight.
I still say if my hometown boy Sweet Pea Whitaker was at his prime at the same time as Floyd, he would beat Floyd like he was 2.
Yeah, that's true.
Sweet Pea was the business, and you talking about defensive boxing, bobbing and weaving.
Yep.
So Pacquiao's legacy, if this is his last fight in the toilet, he's going to be remembered for this fight.
He's going to be remembered
He's
going to be remembered as the first person to get the 6-figure payday.
Yep.
And
both
Floyd.
Yep.
That's what they're going to be remembered for.
Floyd is going to be known for
this
Money
is the
Mayweather.
The great hype. The best hype I've ever seen.
The great ripoff.
Because he kept saying, I'm going to bring it to him. So that's why everybody brought it. I'm going to bring it to him.
Yeah, because that's right. He said
he would bring it to him.
He said he was going to try to knock him out. He did say, he said that to Stephen A. Smith. I could take him out. I'm like,
did he try?
No.
No, he did not. And Floyd Mayweather, I did pick you in this fight. But, sir, you are no Muhammad Ali or Sugar Ray Robinson.
And never say it again.
Give it up. Yes, you have more money than them. You will have more money than everyone who ever played in professional sports. But, sir, you are not an icon. And, folks, that's all the time I have for you. Thank you, Mr. McIntosh and Mr. Stick.